Hello there, my name is Hido and welcome to the Pantheon, where today we're having a look at the squeakquel to Modern Horizons. It's Modern Horizons 2 and we've got a squirrel legendary creature. What a world we live in. What a nightmare, truly. So, this is Chatterfang, Squirrel General. 3 mana for a 3/3. Legendary Squirrel Warrior. And it's a mythic, so of course it is. Forest Walk, which means it can't be blocked if defending player controls a forest. I really like it when they put things like Forest Walk in these sets. You know, we can't have this in Standard, but here you go. Here's a squirrel that can destroy Modern. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens are created instead. And you can pay a black and sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets +X, -X until end of turn. So it's a doubling season evasive sack outlet removal squirrel. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I like it a lot. It's a really cool card, you know, it does absolutely everything. Golgari is my favourite combination in Magic, so it does everything I want. If you're enjoying these videos, please do subscribe. I'm going to make one on every single card that's ever been printed that's a legendary creature. It's going to take me a while, but I'll get there eventually. So, without further ado, let's get into number 5. And in at number 5, we have Doubling Season. Well, this is a doubling season, dude. So, doubling season is a pretty cool include, you know. You can go absolutely crazy with tokens. That could be a very key part of your strategy. And doubling season is the cornerstone of that. 5 mana for an enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many. Very simple, very cool. It's exactly what our commander's doing, so why don't we do it a bit more? Then we got Second Harvest, 4 mana for an instant. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Again, lots of tokens, make more tokens. Parallel Lives, 4 mana for enchantment. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens onto the battlefield under your control, it puts twice that many of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. So you're going to double up your squirrels, just double. And finally, Primal Vigor, 5 mana for enchantment. If 1 or more tokens will be put onto the battlefield, twice that many of those tokens are put onto the battlefield instead. Are you sensing a theme here? I am. But this card does work for your opponents as well, so be wary of that. Although the artwork is incredible. I love that sort of big ape gorilla thing. It just looks pretty cool. And same again with counters. If 1/1 counter placed on a creature, twice that many, but it does indeed work for your friends and your enemies. Which brings me on to number 4. And in number 4, well, we're running a squirrel deck. Let's play some squirrel sort of cards. Squirrel Nest is a classic 3 mana for an enchantment aura, enchant land. Enchanted land has tap, creates a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. So with our commander out, it makes 2 squirrels. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. But the main reason you want to run this is Earthcraft, a 2 mana enchantment, which is incredibly expensive. Tap an untapped creature you control, untap target basic land. So because it's the enchantment doing the tapping, this gets around Summoning Sickness. So if we've got our Squirrel Nest attached to a basic land, we tap it, make a squirrel, or 2 squirrels with our commander out. We then use Earthcraft to tap one of those squirrels to untap the basic land, and then we tap to make 2 more squirrels. Add infinitum, you've got infinite squirrels at instant speed, so you do it on someone's end step. You untap, you squirrel everyone to death. Really, really good, although Earthcraft is an incredibly expensive card. Then Swarmyard, recently reprinted land. Tap to add a colorless. Excellent, you want this in your deck, exactly what you want to do. But then it also has regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. So as we're playing a squirrel, we can regenerate our commander. Wow, what a great use of this card. Then the Squirrel Wrangler, 4 mana for a 2/2 druid. I think it's an elf, a human, I can't remember. Pay 2, sacrifice a land. You don't need lands in this deck. Put 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens onto the battlefield. Pay 2, sacrifice land. All squirrels get +1/+1 until end of turn. So we can get in with our commander. Our commander, you know, it has evasion thanks to Forest Walk. You can give your opponents a forest, you know, using some cards, and then get in, buff, sacrifice all your lands and buff him by about +4/+4. Really, really good. But the main thing is we can make squirrels, you know, just and keep making more and more and more. Then Deep Forest Hermit, 5 mana for a 1/1 with Elf Druid with Vanishing 3, which means enters 3 turn counters and you remove 1 in your upkeep. And when he has none, he goes. When it enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. So with our commander out, we're going to make 8. By God, that's a lot of squirrels we can sacrifice. And also squirrels get +1/+1. So it's a 5 mana 17/17, which is pretty good to be fair. Deranged Hermit, very similar card. The card that Deep Forest Hermit is actually based on. 5 mana for a 1/1 with Echo, which means at the beginning of your upkeep, if this came under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its Echo cost. So you just have to pay its mana cost again, basically. It enters the battlefield, put 4 1/1 squirrels into play. Squirrels get +1/+1. Again, excellent card. This is quite expensive, but you're going to play squirrels. This is the squirrel for you. Then we've got Acorn Harvest. 4 mana for a sorcery. Put 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens into play. So 4 mana, we get 4 squirrels. Whoa, crazy. Then we can flash it back for 2 mana and pay 3 life. In Commander, we got 40 life. Who gives a rat's ass or a squirrel's ass about 3 life? And we get 4 squirrels for 3 mana. 2 mana and 3 life, which is pretty solid in my opinion. Which brings me on to number 3. And in number 3, we got Pitiless Plunderer. Now, these are all cards that work exceptionally well with our commander's sacrifice ability. So, Pitiless Plunderer is on the field, and so is our commander. Pitiless Plunderer is a 4 mana human pirate 1/4. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. So a nice little bit of ramp, but we use our commander's ability to sacrifice a squirrel. That triggers Pitiless Plunderer, who creates a token, which, because our commander sees a token entering, creates a squirrel. We can then sack this to a black and do this over and over and over and over again. And it just creates an infinite loop where we can just wipe our opponent's board, and it's fantastic. It's really, really powerful and cool. It's just exactly what this commander wants. Death's Presence is another great card, you know, if you're going to be sacrificing a lot of things. 6 mana for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, put X 1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the power of the creature that died. So, we're going to be sacrificing a lot of 1/1s. We may as well pile all those 1/1s onto our commander who has evasion through Forest Walk, smash in for a load of damage. And also a cool way of using your commander's ability is, yes, you can use it as removal, you know, the sacrifice to give +X, -X, but we can also target our own commander to give him a buff in power. Don't sacrifice too many squirrels or else you'll kill him, but you can swing in for lethal with him. Then we have Butcher Malakir, a 7 mana 5/4 with flying. When it or another creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So, because our commander's ability, we sacrifice multiple things at once, that'll mean our opponents have to sacrifice multiple things as well. Same goes for Grave Pact. 4 mana for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. So we sacrifice 4 things. Our opponents are going to have to sacrifice 4 things. Absolute board wipe on a stick. Which brings me on to Liliana Dreadhorde General. 6 mana for a 6 loyalty planeswalker. And a passive is whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. So for a single black, and we sacrifice 20 squirrels, you know, because we're going to have that many, we can draw 20 cards for 1 black mana. And admittedly, we now no longer have any squirrels. But that's not that big of an issue. Then her +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, which will also give us a squirrel. Oh, what a bit of synergy there. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. We're going to have an excess of tokens, so this shouldn't impact us a lot. And we're going to draw cards from our creatures dying anyway. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control for each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. Absolutely backbreaking. Your opponents just won't be able to come back from that. Then we have Revel in Riches, a 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, create a colorless treasure artifact creature token with tap, sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. So this works excellently with Grave Pack, things like that. We sacrifice things, or, you know, we even use our commander's ability to just target things and kill them. And then we get treasures for that, and eventually, if we get enough treasures, we can win the game. Which is sort of the reason we're playing this game, isn't it? Maybe fun? No, it's winning, isn't it? Catacomb Sifter is a 3-mana 2/3 with Devoid, so it has no colour. When it enters, you get a 1/1 colourless Eldrazi Scion creature token, and it has sacrifice the creature, add a colourless to your mana pool. So we get a Squirrel from that ability, and whenever another creature you control dies, scry 1. So we can just dig through our deck, find all the sort of combo pieces that we want to get, and while we're doing it, we get a couple of squirrels along the way. Which brings me on to number 2. And in number 2, a personal favourite card of mine. I made an entire video about it a while ago. It's Tombstone Stairwell. 4 mana for an enchant world. You know, that classic type world. Cumulative upkeep of 2. So you have to pay 2, then 4, then 6. Each upkeep as it progresses, or you have to sacrifice the permanent. During each upkeep, each player puts into play a Tombstone token for each summon card in his or her graveyard. Treat those tokens as 2/2 black creatures that are unaffected by summoning sickness. So they have haste, and they are zombies. At end of turn, or if Tombstone Stairwell leaves play, bury all of these tokens. So each upkeep, say we have 6 creatures in our graveyard, we're going to get 6 tokens. So they enter, we get 6 little squirrely boys. And then during our opponent's upkeep, we're going to get 6 more, you know, and it just keeps happening. Our board state grows and grows and grows. And it just triggers all of those death triggers that we just talked about. This card is incredible. I love it. It's so, so good. The artwork is, well, pretty dreadful. But I just think it has such a style to it. You know, it's just so quintessentially old Magic. And I love it. To go along with it, why don't we make tokens in our opponent's upkeep over and over again as well? Tenderstreet Dryad is a 5-mana 2/2 with Ascend, which means if you control 10 or more opponents, you get the City's Blessing. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the City's Blessing. So we're just going to keep growing our army over and over and over again. And each time we get a little squirrely boy. Then, brand new card from Forgotten Realms. Lolth? I think that's how you pronounce it. Lolth? Spider Queen. 5 mana for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Her passive, whenever a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter on Lolth. So we've got a big sack outlet in our commander, so we're going to be getting a ton of loyalty onto this Lolth. And 0, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Pretty good. -3, create 2 2/1 black spider creature tokens to menace and reach. So we also get 2 squirrels from that. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by 1 or more creatures you control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. Pretty damn good. And we're going to be able to get that ultimate off. Probably very distinctly possible that it's going to be the turn that you play Lolth. Because you just leave it 1 black for the sacrifice of our commander. Sacrifice a bunch of saplings. Not saplings, squirrels. Much better creature type. And then we just pile on the counter and then ultimate straight away. This brings me to Beladros Witherbloom. 7 mana for a 4/4 with flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. And you can pay 10 life, untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn. So again, every upkeep we get a squirrel, and that ability to untap all the lands is just fantastic. It essentially gives you an extra turn. Untapping is just so powerful. Then, an interesting one here. Living Hive is an 8 mana 6/6 with trample. It's an elemental insect. When it deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens onto the battlefield. So if this gets through, we'll get a bunch of insects and then a bunch of squirrels as well. This is cool. You know, we've got a couple of ways to buff up power in the deck, so this can really get through for a ton of damage. Scatter the Seeds is a 5 mana instant with Convoke. Convoke is excellent in any sort of token strategy. Put 3 1/1 green sapling creature tokens onto the battlefield. So for 5 mana, we get 3 saplings, 3 squirrels. Not the best rate, but it can conceivably be free thanks to Convoke. Which brings me to Spout Swarm, the Tyrant of limited in future sight. 2 mana for an instant. As Convoke, which means your creature can help you cast it. And buyback for 3. So as an additional cost, you can pay 3 and it returns back to your hand. So you just get a 1/1 green sapling creature. That's it. But thanks to buyback and Convoke, you can keep making 1/1s, which makes another 1/1 thanks to your sapling. And then you can buy it back and keep doing this over and over and over again. So if you have a ton of mana, you can just make a board state instantly. It's pretty good. And it is actually an instant. Which brings me on to my number 1 pick. And it factors into everything that makes this commander cool. You know, it's got evasion. It makes tokens. Why don't we strap it up with a Bloodforged Battle Axe? 1 mana for an equipment. A crit creature gets +2 per so swinging in with a 5/3. Whenever a crit creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged Battle Axe. So this is a token, so it'll trigger our commander, giving us a sapling, which we can then use for the sacrifice outlet. And we can put it onto our commander, so then it's a 7/3. Swing in, we get 2 of them, trigger it twice, get more not sapling, squirrels, and just keep ploughing in for damage and getting a load of advantage. It's just wonderful. I think it's such a cool card to include in the deck. To go along with it, here's a couple of interesting cards, and this is a nice little ramp tilt to the deck. Prying Blade is a 1 mana equipment. A crit creature gets +1 per so. Nice. Whenever a crit creature deals combat damage to a player, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice artifact. You make a color. And then equip for 2. So you put this on your commander. Your commander's got forest walk. You just attack the person with a forest. You get a bit of ramp. That's a token that's creating, so you get a squirrel. It just does everything the deck wants to do. Awakening Zone, 3 mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token that has sacrifice this creature, add a colorless. So a nice bit of ramp that you get every single turn. And because it's a token entering, you also get the squirrel. I was going to say sapling again, it's a squirrel. And then Gold Vein pick is very similar to Prying Blade. 2 mana for a quick creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, it creates a treasure token, and it's a quick cost for 1. So it's Prying Blade, but the quick cost and the mana cost are flipped. Cool. It's exactly what you want the deck to be doing. Then a couple of other really cool equipments that you could get through, and these are really about dealing damage to your opponent and what that can do. Scytheclaw, 5 mana for an equipment. It's got living weapon, so it comes in with a 0/0 germ that it attaches to. Quick creature gets +1/+1. And whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life total rounded up. So we get this on our commander. Swing in, they can't block it if they have a forest. They've lost half of their life total. Pretty goddamn good. Then, a personal favourite card of mine here, Elberus the Binding Blade. 7 mana for an equipment. A quick creature gets +1 per so. Nice. Whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, unattach Elberus the Binding Blade, then transform it. And its quick cost is 1. So here is Withenga the Unbound, the other side of that card. It's a legendary creature demon with flying, intimidate, and trample. Whenever a player loses the game, put 13 1/1 counters on Withenga Unbound. And he himself is a 13/13. This is so cool. And it's exactly what you want out of Commander. It's a big, massive flying idiot. It's attached to a rubbish equipment. And this commander just makes it all work. And those are my top 5 cards for this brand new Squirrel commander. He seems really good. You know, he does everything apart from give you card advantage. But thanks to some of the cards I've shown there, you will get a bit of card advantage to go along with it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for the deck, I'd love to hear them. And I'll see you soon. Bye.